What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Play Fall of Cybertron! So now we're finally taking control of Megatron, and we are going to proceed to kick ass as him. And so the central focus of this mission is going to be Megatron is going to be going after Trypticon, so he can use Trypticon's power core for a reason. We'll see what that is later on. But I want to show off a new weapon here that is an exclusive for, it's a pre-order bonus weapon for this game. And also want to get a secondary weapon that I've never shown up before that you unlock for completing the game. So now that we're getting later in the game, I'm going to show off some of these nicer weapons. So this is the glass gas cannon, or glass cannon, whichever one it's called. And I like the shape of it. It kind of reminds me of Armada Prime's weapon, and it has a good rate of fire, a good accuracy, and good splash damage, and it's overall just really powerful. The first part here, we're going to be fighting more of these Autobot vehicles, and with Megatron's tank mode, because like I said, he's a Titan class character. He can just utterly annihilate these guys. He's not quite as awesome as Swindle, being able to just ram right through them, but you know, blowing them up is better. So, but his vehicle mode is balanced out by the fact he has the least amount of ammo for his alt mode weapon. There's a Chaos Rift conductor there, whatever it's called, but I'm going to continue to use this new weapon right here. This is the Throwback Blaster. Again, it's a pre-order bonus weapon, and it is Megatron's gun mode from the original Generation 1. So essentially, Megatron is now using himself. It makes the Generation 1 sound effect, and it makes the Generation 1 transformation sound effect whenever you swap weapons, sprint, or transform. Basically whenever the weapon comes in and out. Which it sounds cool at first, but it gets old after a while. I figured it would be appropriate to add the music for this part because of what we're doing just now. I thought it would be a nice touch. But it's accurate, and it has a really cool visual effect to it, but it's incredibly weak on hard because it cannot be upgraded. So, but it's a fun weapon to use. I like that they added it in there. Nice little touch for the hardcore fans. Obviously, I want to have Megatron's riot cannon for the rest of this mission. I just want to demonstrate this thing. Now, there's another weapon that you unlock for completing the game with the glass gas cannon called the Electro Bolter, which is also a very, very good primary weapon, and I've neglected to use that one so far, but I'll get around to it eventually. They're not particularly overpowered, they're just kind of weird and unique, but they are both really good, so I can understand why they held them both until you replay the game again. But just the nature of this game's weapons, I feel free to use whatever weapon I just feel like using at the time, not really dependent on the situation. Over there, aside from the guys I was just shooting at, there's also that cannon up there, so I want to blow that away with Megatron's own cannon, because it's just that powerful. Yeah, one of the other reasons why I'm using the glass gas cannon here, aside from the fact that I needed to demonstrate it eventually, is just because I just like using it for Megatron, not only because it's powerful, but because it sort of is in the same nature as the riot cannon, as it's a sort of projectile splash damage weapon, and it has almost some similar shape as well. So I just wanted to keep everything in the same theme there, and the fact that because the leader class characters in this game, which are not even called leader class characters anymore, are not bound to their primary weapon. You know, Megatron and Optimus are not bound to their primary weapon in the campaign in this game. I figured I might as well go ahead and just deliberately choose to use it anyway, so nice little visual effect there when Autobots get blown up by this thing, because they sort of float into the air and then explode. No idea how this thing is supposed to work, but whatever. I think there's an audio diary over here normally, but there's just some extra energy I wanted to get, and some health if you need it. I think the Throwback Blaster has done its good. That's what it looks like right there. It's even got like a little hand attached to it from the look of it there. But yeah, I've demonstrated it enough, so I'm gonna pick up another primary weapon here before I can finally swap back to the riot cannon. But yeah, and just remember to use your hover ability as well, because as I said, unlike in the first game, it's ridiculously good in this game. So and I don't know how it's utilized in multiplayer, if it's utilized at all. So I don't know if it's as good. Wow, random Decepticon base in here. I don't know why, that line is just funny to me when Megatron is like, no mercy rumble. He's like, good boy. Do your job. Okay. So there's another Teletran 1 machine, which means we can go ahead and get our riot cannon back. And we will continue to have it for the rest of the mission. There's our throwback blaster again. Which way am I going here? There we go. It opens up this this pathway over here after we go up there. But a nice thing about Megatron's tank cannon in this mission is it can blow away a lot of the cover that enemies are hiding behind. There's so much destructible environment in this game, especially in this level. You notice it because a lot of it will be blown away. Let's see, I'm going to try to use the gas cannon a little bit here, but it's not quite as powerful as I need it to be to take on this Marauder here. Yeah, they're just going to straight up give us Marauders while we're fighting on the ground now. They're just like, we don't even care, we're not going to give you Metroplex to kill these things. I thought about picking up that rocket launcher there and using its ammo and then using the gas cannon, but I don't know. Whatever. There's a quick use item over here. It's a diffraction barrier, which is a the shield it deploys. I think I've mentioned all these before earlier on, but one thing I've really been neglecting to do is buying them, because now that I have all the upgrades, I don't have anything else to spend my money on except for these quick use items. So I need to be using them more often, but I'm already so overpowered that I don't even need them for most of these encounters. But there will be encounters, especially in this mission as well, where the game will just go ahead and give us some, which is nice. There's a really hard achievement in this mission for using your what is that thing called, the hover slam attack to kill 5 Autobots at once. It's really hard to do, but I think I've managed to do it before though. I think I've gotten all the level specific achievements in this game. No, I think I've gotten all the campaign achievements in this game. The only thing that's left is the multiplayer ones. More shotgunners over here, which we're going to completely lay waste to with the tank cannon. They're just no match for us anymore. Remember how much trouble they gave us earlier in the game? It's like they deliberately make these ledges like just high enough to where the hover will get up to them. The hover in the first game was kind of annoying to try to get it to go up to the right height, and it wouldn't really get you that much higher. I mean, it was good for going over gaps, which is what it was utilized for in the first mission in the first game using Megatron. That one gap, if you remember, but that's really about it. Trying to think of another. I guess I might as well demonstrate this real quick. I mean, I've never demonstrated this yet. It's supposedly a really good weapon. A lot of people in multiplayer use it, but I don't particularly like it. It's cool. It just reminds me of too many other games. It's called the Gear Shredder, and it is a disc launcher which shoots spinning saw blades. And it's kind of cool how you can see the arc of the trajectory and where it's going to bounce and everything. And when you can charge it and launch multiple discs at once. So I think there's like there's a Decepticon Seeker over there that's actually fighting that Marauder, and he's using his little Energon beam on it at close range, which is what happens if you get too close to those things. But yeah, just like all the discretion and all of the precision of all the characters in the earlier parts of the game, like Jazz and Cliffjumper, is completely gone now. We're just like violence, splash damage, and explosions. That's what we need right here. The most unorthodox explosive weapon we can possibly use. That is how Megatron gets it done. No precision headshots and photon burst rifles for this guy. But so it plays much more like a than what reminds me of Quake, honestly. And speaking of Quake, you can with these vehicles right here, you kind of have to do the whole aiming ahead of your target thing with the splash damage weapons, kind of like the rocket launcher in Quake, but you know what I mean. I picked up the Chaos Rift Combustor there, which is actually what it's called, and oh, I should have used the Planet Buster there, transformed. Alright guys, care to lend a hand?
Clear a path through that gate with pleasure.
And as powerful as you feel as Bruticus, it's like you can't help but feel that much more powerful as Megatron, when it's like, yeah, I own this guy. He's my slave. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I've got everything I want. I might switch over to the X-18 Scrap Maker because we have an encounter with another Titan coming up here, so I just want to have that.
We can't stop them.
Not sure really if you can ram enemies with the tank mode. This is the location where I initially tried to get that achievement at, because this room, this area over here, this giant structure that this building is around, has enemies all over the place, but they can traverse this area freely as they will. And so what I ended up doing is just waiting and watching the guys, trying to move around to get them to move on their own, so I could get them to all cluster inside of the building, because there's like one little room where you can potentially get them all to cluster inside of, not all of them, but at least 5 of them, to where you can use the whatever called hover slam thing in there, and just annihilate all of them and get the achievement. But it's not as easy as it looks. I like that you can see where you're going to land though with the hover slam, so I can land inside there like I'm doing now and just utterly annihilating these guys as usual. I'm also noticing with a lot of the weapons in this game how, I might have mentioned this earlier already, but how aiming down the sights doesn't seem as absolutely necessary as it was in the previous game. How in the first game it was just like, there's some weapons where you're not going to hit anything unless you're aiming down the sights with the left trigger, but in this game it's just like, yeah, you don't really have to, which is nice. I like that. It makes it feel just designed better. Right here we're going to have some snipers that are going to perch themselves on the ceiling of this tunnel here that we're passing through, and we're just going to say screw it to them and just blow them away, like everything else. Yeah, Megatron's cannon makes quick work of those snipers, even faster than Jazz was able to take him out with a sniper rifle. Well, looky what we have here.
Here's your confirmation. Megatron, you are functional. Never felt better.
We only haven't seen you for the last half of the game, Optimus.
Then your cause is as desperate as ours. End your aggression. We can work together. Your pathetic ideals have turned Cybertron into the barren wasteland it has become. You are the cause. I am the solution. You deserve no less than the oblivion I will bring to you.
And this scene kind of, I don't like really how the riot cannon looks on his arm, how it kind of is his entire arm. I like how the fusion cannon in the previous game actually did act like the normal fusion cannon and just kind of attached itself to the side of his arm, more or less. Anyway, more shotgunners to annihilate. Good stuff.
I shouldn't have to look for this.